Hi guys, stage 13 test review. Let's go. Alright, so this part 1 that you guys did, station 1, was about the verbs nolo, wolo, possum, and esse, and you had to give the proper form to complete the sentence. Each of these sentences is lacking a form of, in this case, nole, posse, or wele. All of which, these are just the infinitive forms of the irregular verbs that tell you what type of word you're going to be using. You figure out which form of the word you're going to use by looking at the subject, which it comes at the beginning of each of these sentences. So, wos is y'all, and we need the form of nole. If you look over here, you look at your notes, hopefully you know these off the top of your head, but if you don't, that's what they're here for. We see that non-voltis is the form that you use when y'all is the subject. So you will type non-voltis. Okay. The next sentence is Pompeiani effugere non posse. We need the form of posse for to be able to for a nominative plural noun, Pompeiani. So we want to say the Pompeians are not able to escape. So we're going to look down here. Possum, potest, potest, possumus, potestus, possunt. Possunt is the one for they. So I'm going to write possunt here. All of these forms need to just be studied and memorized. There's really no other way. Notice how the endings here, sum, est, sumus, estis, and sunt, are all, they're just the forms of is, are, or am. On their own. So if you take off the POS or POT, then you have sum, SS, sumus, estis, sunt, which on their own just mean I am, you are, he is, we are, y'all are, and they are. If you put the POS or the POT in front of it, it makes it I can, you can, he can, so on and so forth. Alright, down here we have nole, and we need to say the form that matches with to. To means you, so we're going to need the second person singular form, which is non-vis. Two separate words, non-vis. Alright. I say nos venelicios in portu videre posse. We want to say we are able to see the slave dealers in the port. We need the form of posse that goes with nos, which means we. That's first person plural. It'll be possumus. Alright. Ego canis retinere blank. I want to keep the dogs. We need the form of wele, which is the one for ego, which means I, so we just want wolo. Ego canis retinere wolo. I want to keep the dogs. Alright, moving on. Number 2, conjugations. Identify the conjugation of the following verbs. This is pretty easy. You just look at the end of the first part, you look at the end of the second part, and that tells you what conjugation it is. If you don't remember off the top of your head, you should, but if you don't and you need to study it, that's what this chart on the verb chart is for, the top left corner. This tells you the end of the first principal part, the second principal part. We see, and I'll put this up and push it to the side so that you can see how this works. So winio, winire, io, ire, that makes it fourth. Ambulo, ambulare has are at the end. First is the only one that has are at the second principal part. Fugio, fugere, io in the first principal part, ere in the second, that makes it third io. Ruo, ruere, that's o, then ere, that just makes it third. Dodare, second principal part ends with are, that means it's first conjugation. Bibo, bibere, o, then ere, that makes it third. Deleo, delere, it goes eo, then ere, that makes it second. Maneo, manere, same thing, two. Dormio, dormire has the ire in the second. It's the only one. Fourth is the only thing it could be. O-E-R-E, that's going to be third. Super simple. Alright, now we have the irregular English to Latin. This can basically be completed just by looking at your notes about wolo, nolo, and possum. This has some past tense thrown in there, and these are from a couple chapters ago. Either way, without further ado, like I said, any form of is, are, or am can be found as the ending to possum, potest, potest, possumus, potestus, possunt. So we want to say we are, we can. You just take off the POS, you're left with sumus. That is we are. Y'all were. If you remember the imperfect forms of is, was, are all Aram, Aras, Arat, Aramus, Aratis, Arant. And that's what these are all over here. Y'all were would be Eratis. I am able. If you look back at your notes, you'll see that's possum. He can. You'll see that is potest. If you look, we are able is possumus. We do not want is nolumus. The slaves do not want will be servi nolunt. Does she not want? That will be non-volt for she doesn't want. And if you remember to make it into a question, we have nay. Remember Quincy, the questioning horse. He makes the nay sound, and he's asking a question. So if you put nay at the end of something, it turns it into a yes or no question. If it were just non-volt, that would be she doesn't want. But since it has the nay at the end, it means does she not want. Number 9, I do not want. That is nolo. And lastly, y'all want. No, not lastly. Y'all want. That is voltis. You want. That is vis. And that is it. So there's that. Station 4, regular verbs translation. You're given all your verbs up here: canto, retineo, curo, dico, adwenio. All right, this one's the boy used to say. Used to blank is another translation of the imperfect tense. You take, and this is basically a practice with joined vowels. So we know we need to do the imperfect. We know dico, dicere is the word for say, and that is a third conjugation verb. So we're going to look at our chart. Okay, we're going to look at our chart. The boy used to say. We look over here at the imperfect. We take the second principal part of dicere based off this little stem formula. Take the second principal part, chop off the ere. So we have dic, dic. Then we have to add our imperfect joint vowel. We know it's third conjugation. Our imperfect joint vowel is going to be an e. And then we add the ending that we need. The boy. That would be bot. Okay. We are saying we aren't able to keep. Well, this is to blank. That's the infinitive. You just have to remember that for the infinitive, you just copy the second principal part. So it's going to be retinere. Oh, oops, retinere. That is to keep. Are we running to the store? This is first person plural, present tense. We look at the present tense here. Second principal part minus the a, e, or ire. This is a third. Curere is a third conjugation noun, so we're going to take the curere, take off the ere. We're going to add our present joined vowel, which in this case will be I, and then we add the ending for we, which is moose. And since it's a yes or no question, we're going to add nay onto it. All right, y'all saying to the slaves. This is perfect tense, and so actually over here, this is actually much simpler. We find our verb. For saying, for the perfect tense, we're going to follow our stem formula for that. We just take the third principal part and chop off I, and then we add our ending. We don't even have to worry about conjugation and things like that. So let's find the word canto, cantare, cantavi. We take cantavi, chop off the I, C-A-N-T-A-V, and then you add the ending that you need for the subject, y'all, and that is istis. Okay. They have kept the rings. That is another translation of the perfect tense. So we're going to look for the word for keep. We're going to find its third principal part, retinui. We're going to take off the I and then add the ending that we need, which in this case is errant. Okay, I won't be able to arrive on time. Very simple. That is to arrive. So we're just going to take the second principal part, which I don't see it on here. There it is. Advenire. You were running too fast. Were running, that is imperfect tense. You are going to follow the formula for running, which is curo, curere. Take the second principal part, chop off ere. You're going to add your joined vowel for the third conjugation, since it's o-ere, and that is just an e. So you're going to take cur, re, and then the ending for you is boss. Bombas, bot. Curabas. Okay. Caecilius has said this before. That is perfect tense, has blanked. The word for says is dico, dicere, dixi. Take the third principal part, take off the I, and then since the subject is Caecilius, we'll use third person singular, it. Were we keeping this gift for a special occasion? This is once again a yes or no question. Find the word for to keep is retineo, retinere, and it's imperfect tense. So we're going to take the second principal part, chop off the ere. We're going to add our imperfect joined vowel, which is an e. And then we are going to add our ending for we, which is bonus. Lastly, we have he arrived too late. That is perfect tense. You're going to follow third principal part minus I, as this says. And then you're going to add your ending, eat. E is the it for he. Okay, last one. All right, so we have station 5, que conjunctions. These are actually simpler than you think. You are going to take this statement right here, caecilius and metella, and you're going to rewrite it using que. To rewrite an and statement using que, you just get rid of the et and put a que after the second word. So if you see a que at the end of a word, that means that this doesn't just mean metella anymore. It means and metella. So we're going to do this with all the rest of these words. Servos et pecunias turns into servos pecuniasque. That means slaves and money. We're going to change mercatoribus et custodibus to mercatoribus custodibusque. It's a freaking mouthful. We're going to turn equi et boes. Equi boesque. And we are going to turn amicos et uxorum into amicos uxorumque. They're both basically interchangeable, both different forms. I think that they believe the que to sound nicer, so they used it actually more often. So now this sentence means caecilius and metella are parents. That's pretty simple. This is Savius was counting the slaves and money. Okay? Ego mercatoribus custodibusque dona dare volebam is probably the hardest one here. That is I was wanting dare to give, dona gifts, mercatoribus custodibusque to the merchants. These are both dative, plural, and guards. Alright, and lastly, in horea multi equibobusque erat, there are a couple ways you can do this. You can say, in the barn there were many horses and cows. And then amicos uxorumque habes. There's no nominative noun in here, so you just look at the verb habes. We know because the ending is s, the subject is you. This is you have friends and a singular, a wife. Uxorum, singular. Okay. And that is it for the review. Hopefully that helped you looking at how I use the chart. You're going to want to memorize volo, vis, volt, volumus, voltis, volunt, all the different forms of want. Nolo, non vis, non volt, no lumus, non voltis, no lunt, all the different forms of do not want. You are going to want to memorize possum, potest, potest, possumus, potestus, possunt, all the different forms of is able to or can, and sum ss, sumus estus sunt, all the different forms of to be. You guys, good luck. Go do the quizzes, finish your practice quizzes, message me with any questions. Godspeed.